you're still on the record, this is a matter of Angelita Gonzalez, 23825.
Attorney Corey Westmoreland, appearing on behalf of Ms. Gonzalez. Ms. Gonzalez, would you please state your name for the record?
Angelita Gonzalez.
All right, and so today's the date scheduled for a probation violation. Ms. Gonzalez is on probation for operating while impaired. She was sentenced on August 14th, and it's already alive. There's 3 violations, technical violations, 1, 2, and 3. August 16th, diluted sample, August 25th, diluted sample, and then August 28th, positive for alcohol. Counsel?
Yes, Your Honor. At this time, I did have an opportunity to speak to Ms. Gonzalez regarding the allegations. At this time, we are prepared to enter a guilty plea and waive our right to have any sort of contested hearing at this time.
All right. Ma'am, please raise your right hand. Do you solemnly swear for the testimony about to give this matter be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. And you heard the allegations, correct?
Correct.
All right. And as to the allegations, ma'am, how do you plead?
Guilty.
You've gone over your advice of rights for probation violation purposes, correct, ma'am?
Can you repeat that? I'm sorry.
You've gone over your advice of rights for probation violation matter, correct?
Correct.
And you understand all of those rights, correct?
Correct.
And you understand by entering into plea, you'll be waiving some of those rights, specifically your right to a contested violation hearing, correct?
Correct.
And you also understand the possible penalty as a result of your plea, whether in this court or any other court or administrative agency. Do you understand that?
Correct.
And you understand what the recommendation in this matter is, correct?
What was the recommendation? I'm not too sure.
That you continue to complete all terms of your probation, $50 probation violation fee, 5 days jail, 30 days alcohol tether. You understand that, correct?
Correct.
And knowing all that, you still want to continue with your plea.
Yes, ma'am.
Has anybody promised anything, threatened you, or coerced you in any way for you to enter into a plea?
No, ma'am.
All right, counsel, if you can please ready your client.
Sure. Ms. Gonzalez, are you currently on probation through the 27th District Court?
Yes.
Did you have a diluted test on August 16th and the 25th?
Yes.
Did you also have a positive alcohol test on August 28th of this year?
Yes.
Okay. And you understand that those are all violations of your terms and conditions of probation?
Yes.
Okay. Satisfied, Your Honor.
The court is also satisfied the plea is knowing, voluntary, and factually accurate. The court will accept your plea to the probation violations. Indicate technical violations 1, 2, and 3 will enter. And the counsel adds to the recommendation.
Yes, Your Honor. At this time, I would simply just request consideration to suspend any sort of jail time on behalf of Ms. Gonzalez. She got a real slow start to probation here, but she understands that diluted tests are looked at just as a positive test. She understands that she is to not drink a ton of water before she goes in to test, as she did indicate to me that she does drink excessive amounts of water throughout the day. Moving forward, she did take responsibility for testing positive for alcohol. I don't know what the actual numbers were. I was not given that, but she's here to take responsibility for it. She may be using some products at home, some household products that may contain alcohol, and that might be the reason for the positive test. I told her that she needs to meet with probation, get a whole list of items that she's to not or discontinue using at this time. So moving forward, Your Honor, I truly don't believe Ms. Gonzalez will be in front of you for any further violations for anything like this.
Okay, ma'am, what are you currently on probation for felony probation for?
Can you say that again? I'm sorry.
What matter are you currently on felony probation for?
For Wyandotte or, oh, in Detroit? For the
Yes.
same thing. From, let's see, this was in 2022.
So you were on probation when this matter occurred, correct?
My probation didn't begin when this occurred. I ended up getting my probation probably right after. So I've been testing since maybe May or June. And they agreed to send over my test results to Natalie Wyandotte.
Right, okay, let me clarify. The matter you're currently on felony probation for occurred prior to this offense, correct?
Correct. But I didn't get
But
my
you were
probation
sentenced
until
in
this
this,
year.
you were sentenced in this matter before you were sentenced on your felony matter.
Yes, correct. Well, no. I didn't get sentenced. I got sentenced this year right before, and they put me on probation, but I didn't start testing or anything until right after I got in trouble in Wyandotte.
Ma'am, when did you begin your probation on your felony matter?
I don't know the exact date. I don't recall that right now off the top of my head.
Was it before or after your Wyandotte offense date?
After, most likely after.
Okay, so this incident occurred April 22nd. So you had your felony matter, then you were then you picked up your Wyandotte matter while you were out on bond on your felony matter. Then you were sentenced on your felony matter, and then you were sentenced in this matter, correct?
Correct, yes.
Okay. And you're still using alcohol?
I'm not using alcohol.
You're not?
No.
So what are you indicating is the reason for your positive alcohol test on August 28th?
Say that again, I'm sorry.
What are you indicating is the reason for your positive alcohol test on August 28th if you don't drink any alcohol?
Well, I do use mouthwash, and I didn't know that would pull up as a positive result until speaking with my attorney yesterday. And he was asking me.
Ma'am, then you need to pay attention when you're given your probation instructions from.
I was never given a sheet
But
or
please-
anything like
please
that.
don't
Stated.
Please do not interrupt me.
Okay.
You're given written instructions and you're given verbal instructions. At least from this probation department you are. I can't speak for the Third Circuit Court. And so you're telling me that you didn't receive any instructions from this court at all, from this probation department at all?
No, when I was speaking with my attorney yesterday, he said I should have gotten like a sheet with the list of like items and stuff that I shouldn't.
They said there is a sheet out there that will give you a list of items.
Yeah, that was never provided.
Putting responsibility on anybody.
Just as far as like things I should be signing up for, classes and checking in with my probation officer. That's everything that we went over when I did speak with my probation officers. But as far as like things that I shouldn't be consuming outside of actual alcohol was never discussed. Like I wouldn't be using mouthwash. Like I honestly had no idea. I've been doing good this whole time with my other probation officer. So I'm not trying to get in trouble in both counties. Like I got a kid and stuff. I'm not trying to do that.
When's the last time you consumed any alcohol, ma'am?
Say that again?
When is the last time you consumed any alcohol?
The weekend that I got arrested. So April, I believe it was right before my birthday, so April 20th.
And you're testing weekly?
I'm testing weekly.
Is it the same day every week?
No, it's random.
Okay. So the court is going to adopt the recommendation. You're to continue to complete all terms of probation, $50 probation violation fee. We're going to indicate 5 days jail. The court's going to suspend that jail. To November 6th at 9:45 a.m. You're to have 30 days on the alcohol tether. You're to get that today. Anything else, counsel?
Not this time, Your Honor.
Ma'am, please email into Ms. Shaw and she will get you set up with your terms and conditions.
Okay,
You have a child and you
Yes.
work, correct?
I'm currently out on, I injured my knee, so I'm gonna be having surgery in October for my knees. I haven't been working for the past 3 months, but I do have a job.
Okay. Ma'am, make sure that you are communicating with your treatment team, your medical team, regarding your inability to use alcohol.
Okay,
Maybe you might want to ask Ms. Shaw to give you a refresher as to some examples of what you cannot use. It does not negate your responsibility of looking at ingredients in every product you use to make sure that you do not consume alcohol.
okay,
All right, email into her please by 11:40.
okay.
Thank you.
Thank you, Judge.
All right, you have a good day. Oh, Mr. Westbrook, I didn't see you. Are you ready to go?
Yes, good morning,
Okay.
Judge.
Good morning. All right, we are going on the record in the matter of the state of Michigan versus Angelita Gonzalez, 23825.
Good morning, Your Honor. Attorney Corey Westmoreland here on behalf of Ms. Gonzalez.
Good morning.
Ms. Gonzalez, would you please state your name for the record?
Angelita Gonzalez.
All right, good morning. And today is the date scheduled for sentencing on your client's plea.
I believe it's a show cause. Your Honor.
I'd say show cause. Yes, I apologize. Yeah, she did not get the alcohol tether on September 11th as ordered. Yeah, as a result of her probation violation. So this court indicated 5 days jail. All right, so your client was sentenced on August 14th to 18 months probation for her plea to an amended charge of operating while visibly impaired. There was a probation violation, which resulted in technical violations 1, 2, and 3. 2 of the tests that your client took for drug testing were diluted samples, and the 3rd test was positive for alcohol. So a violation was scheduled, at which point your client pled guilty to the probation violation. This court indicated 5 days jail. We were suspending that jail until November 6th at 9:45 a.m. And she was having alcohol tethered for 30 days. Which she apparently didn't get the alcohol tether on September 11th. And therefore there was a show cause that was issued for her failure to have the alcohol tether. And so, counsel, what's happening with the show cause?
Yes, Your Honor, at this time, my client is prepared to plead guilty with an explanation.
Ma'am, please raise your right hand. I will swear from the testimony about to give this matter be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth.
Yes.
All right. And so, ma'am, you are before this court to show cause why you should not be held in contempt of court or violated this court's order. And as to the allegation you violated this court's order by failing to have the alcohol tether administered on September 11th as ordered, how do you plead?
Guilty.
You understand that you do have the right to have a contested hearing in this matter.
Yes.
And by entering into a plea, you will not have that contested hearing.
Yes.
Has anybody promised you anything, threatened you or coerced you in any way for you to enter into a plea.
No.
You understand the possible penalty as a result of your plea.
Yes.
You understand that this court could sentence you to jail.
Yes.
And knowing all that, you want to continue with your plea.
Yes.
And counsel, if you can please run to your client.
Sure. Ms. Gonzalez, are you currently on probation through the Wyandotte District Court?
Yes.
As a term and condition of your probation, were you to the alcohol tether installed on September 11th?
Yes.
And did you have that installed?
No.
And you understand that's a violation of your probation?
Yes.
Satisfied, Judge?
All right, the court will also indicate you understand that's a violation of this court's sentence on your probation violation hearing.
Yes.
All right, the court is satisfied the plea is knowing, voluntary, and factually accurate. The court will accept your plea to the show cause violation. And counsel?
Yes, Your Honor. My client's extremely apologetic. Plain and simple, she just doesn't have the money. She's been out of work for several weeks now. She's on disability. Months. She receives $400 a month, and that's clearly not even remotely close to pay her bills whatsoever. She's not trying to deceive this court in any way. She has scheduled surgery for October 13th. At that point, she will be able to return back to work within a week or two tops. She understands. She's taking responsibility for it. She did plead guilty, but simply put, she just doesn't have money for it. So I would just ask for leniency on her behalf. She's in a bad spot right now. She can't work. She can't earn money. She can't pay for it. So taking that into account, I would just be asking for leniency on Ms. Gonzalez.
So, ma'am, if you're receiving less than what your monthly obligations are, how are you supporting yourself?
I'm doing it with the $400 that I'm getting, that I just started getting from the state last month.
And you don't have any family or friends that are helping you out? Not at all.
It's just me.
And did you, at any point when this court ordered you to get the tether, did you raise that issue? Because I don't recall you raising that issue.
When we spoke, you asked me, was I working, and I said no.
I'm sorry?
When the last time I was here, well, not here, but on Zoom, I did
This
indicate,
last Monday.
yeah,
Not this past, but previous Monday.
I did let me know that I am not working at the time. I also didn't know that the tether, like I was gonna have to pay like weekly or have a specific amount due that day until when Natalie sent over the paperwork to me. And I reached out to them and they said I'd have to pay a specific amount the day of, and then I found out yesterday, or the day before yesterday, Monday, that it was a weekly pay on top of that. I let Natalie know I simply cannot afford any of that.
Okay, so ma'am, here's the thing, right? You're on probation for an alcohol-related driving offense. You violated this court's terms of probation. Setting aside the diluted samples, you tested positive for alcohol. A mere 2 weeks after being sentenced and ordered not to consume the alcohol. So in lieu of sending you to jail, this court suspended your jail and also indicated 30 days on the alcohol tether. Your other option could be to go to jail, ma'am. So I understand you may not be working or that you're not working, but I find it extremely hard to believe that you get zero assistance from anybody that you know, or you don't have any means by which you can borrow money from somebody and pay somebody back.
Not a weekly thing, no. What I was going to do with the 200 that I was gonna get, because it's like a twice payment, 200 and 200, was get the tether. And I thought that 184 was going to go ahead and take care of the tether for the 30 days. So I said, okay, that's not a problem. I don't have anybody that I can borrow weekly $84 to help and then pay them back, because I won't be able to pay them back, especially right away, because I have no income. I don't get any help.
But you should be back to work within a month is what
Yeah.
was
I'm
put
also
forth.
be behind in bills. I have a son that I take care of by myself. I don't get any type of assistance from his father or anybody. It's literally me. Take care of my son. I take him to daycare, gets to daycare, and
And who's paying for daycare?
it's through the state.
And how long have you been out of work?
Since July.
And what happened? Why are you not working
I didn't get money.
at work? When's the last time you consumed any alcohol?
And I got arrested. The weekend that I got arrested, and there was.
Well, no, because you just pled guilty to a probation violation, so that's not accurate.
I don't know if I think it was important.
And so if you're tested today, what's in your system?
Coffee. I don't know if that would.
I can't hear you. What?
I was saying Benadryl, I don't know if that offers anything. I'm on probation in Detroit. And the judge ordered for me to do sobriety court instead of doing another position. I don't know when that will start though.
Well, hold on. Sobriety court is a voluntary treatment court, so you had to have had agree, you had
I
to
agree
agree to it.
Yes, I agree to it, because he asked me could I afford to do a tether. And I told him no, that I couldn't. He asked me would I be going to do sobriety court. And I spoke to the gentleman that does the sobriety court. I agree to do that. I just don't know when the thing starts. I asked my probation officer, and she said that if she's not assigned the case, someone will be assigned, and then I'll get like the details of how to go forward with sobriety court.
And when were you sentenced in that matter?
This was Monday.
The past one.
Next Monday.
And that offense date was when?
2021.
So, that's right, because that case wasn't brought forth until just recently, correct?
Correct.
Right, so you had two pending OWIs simultaneously, and it's not a second offense with either one of these two because there wasn't a conviction for either one of these two. And how did you get here today?
My father died.
And how are you going to afford the Uber?
I actually have the code, like the code.
Counsel, this is tough because your client, I understand that she is out of work right now, but at the same time, this court ordered her to refrain from using alcohol. Within 2 weeks, she violated. So instead of sending her right to jail, this court suspended 5 days of her jail and gave her the opportunity to get an alcohol tether. And she didn't do that. And so what am I left with?
At her, I believe I represented her at her violation of probation. She was forthcoming at that. If I recall correctly, she was at a get together. Someone gave her some punch. She drank it. She wasn't aware of it. Obviously, that's not going to happen again. It's not only myself, but we both made her very aware that she's responsible for everything she puts in her system.
Oh, that's right. You tried saying that you weren't aware of that, but then you ended up drinking a lot of the punch,
So
right?
that's correct,
You
Judge.
drank a whole lot of punch.
So she's here before you today explaining that she's indigent. She doesn't have the money to pay for a tether. As I've explained already, she receives $400 a month disability, and that's her sole. That's what she has to pay all her bills. So
Well, so when do you begin? You don't know when you're beginning Sephardi court?
No, I don't know quite yet. Hopefully I find someone else this week. I did reach out to my probation officer immediately. Any type of email or call or anything, or a number that was given to me, so I contact someone. But she did say that someone should be assigned to my case, and then if it's not her, whoever is assigned will let me know all the information that I need to know as far as that goes.
Well, now, since your client's going to be participating in Sephardi court, perhaps I amend the sentence, quite frankly, and revoke probation, have your client serve some jail time and be done with this court.
as she indicated earlier, she is solely responsible for her child. I don't see how that's going to be possible for her.
Well, perhaps your parents are gonna have to take care of the child for a little while.
That wouldn't be able to happen. Both of my parents work full-time jobs.
Okay, but there's daycare, your child's in daycare, right?
I understand that, but I also just don't feel comfortable with my son.
Okay, and man, quite frankly, I don't feel comfortable with you violating this court's order not to use any alcohol. And you did, 2 weeks after you were sentenced for drunk driving that you were arrested for while you were out on bond or while you had another matter pending for the same offense. So if you're not feeling comfortable with your son going to your parents' house, I don't know what to say about that. Because I've tried to be as accommodating as I can be. But at the end of the day, you violated this court's order. You're a danger to the public, quite frankly, with your alcohol consumption on a continuing basis. And let's not forget, when you were arrested in this manner in April, you were a .22. A .22. And I understand right now that you have limited income because of your injury. But you're choosing not to utilize or attempt to utilize any financial resources that you may have. There are individuals that you could absolutely ask to borrow some money from and pay them back in a number of months when you're back to work. But you're not exercising that option.
I have, absolutely. I do not have no whatsoever. If I did, I wouldn't even have hesitated to get the tether at all. But I don't have any, it's literally just me taking care of my kid.
Okay, but you've indicated that you have your parents.
That doesn't mean that they would look they're alive, yeah, but that doesn't indicate that they're there to help me financially or anything like that.
Did you ask them?
I have reached out. I mean, both of my parents, they have their own things going on.
I understand that.
Other people.
Did you
So I
ask?
asked, absolutely.
Did you ask them specifically for the money regarding the tether?
I have asked, but I would have had their own work and I wouldn't have the problem. I wouldn't be standing here today in front of you.
When did you ask your parents about
As soon as
helping
I
you pay for the tether?
when I found out about it, I asked that I get help immediately because I didn't have any money to my name that day whatsoever.
When is your surgery?
October the 13th. I'm trying to get it on the city stuff.
And how did you injure your knee again?
Someone was running, flagged it into me. Knocked me over.
Have you started your outpatient substance use counseling?
So I'm in therapy right now, and when I asked my therapist if she was a counselor, she said no, so I have been looking for one. Reached out to a few different counselors, so I'm kind of just waiting to see who's able to.
Did you sign up for your bad victim impact panel yet?
I have not. Now technically I want to say 30 hours of community service.
And how are you doing that?
So I'm working with the organization called Trade Action. I have a letter from the, I don't know if you
I'll
want.
take a look at that, please.
I help with organizing events, back to school things. Like a back to school drive with them. And yesterday we actually did National Voter Registration Day. So we set up at Wayne State and our students to register to vote.
All right. So you're right, this is a very difficult case because Ms. Gonzalez, you're claiming that you don't have the funds to pay for a tether, which the court gave you the opportunity to do in lieu of jail. You were on probation for a mere 2 weeks before your first violation. I'm sorry, the first violation was August 16th, which is 2 days later. Then the 25th was another diluted sample. And on the 28th, which was 2 weeks after you were sentenced, you're positive for alcohol. And if you're going to be doing sobriety court, I don't know that it makes sense for you to continue with probation in this court.
I would just ask that it be ranked for any tests that she has to sobriety report, she can always send to Michelle.
That's what's happening now. Or it's funny, no.
All right, well, the court's going to indicate as your sentence in this matter for violating the court's order. The court's going to indicate 5 days.
Would you allow a court date so she could get her affairs in order and make sure that she has something off the file?
You have to report tomorrow. So please stop over probation. They will give you the information as to how to report.
Repeat number, please.
261.
All right, thank you. All right, off the record. Actually, we're gonna stay on the record. Council, and ma'am, just so you're aware, right? The, that was from your violation of your sentence for your probation violation. You still have the 5 days that was suspended. So this is not the suspended, this is an additional 5 days, just so you're aware. That jail review is still November 6th,
Okay, so,
and you're still on probation as of now. So, this,
10 days in jail, what you're saying?
no,
Oh, okay.
potentially at some point, if you, depending how the jail review goes November 6th, you may have to serve another 5 days. Right now, I'm indicating 5 days for violating this court's order regarding the tether. So I just want you to be aware that you're, as of now, you're still on probation, and you still have the other 5 days from the probation violation this court suspended. So this 5 days is not that 5 days, is what I'm trying to make sure is clear. Okay? All right. All right. Thank you. Off the record. Make sure you're stopping in probation, please.
Attorney Corey Westmoreland, appearing on behalf of Ms. Gonzalez.
All right, and ma'am, your name for the record.
I'm Elisa Gonzalez.
Okay, well, we are recalling this matter because the court received notification that you got a hold of somebody who's willing to get you the money for the tether today.
Correct.
And so you wanted to know if you could have this matter recalled.
Yes, Your Honor, in lieu of jail time, we're just simply requesting the opportunity to have her get the alcohol tether and suspend any sort of jail time. Right. As you know, like I don't have to rehash everything. She's exhausted all resources. She has no income. She's on disability, but one is a family member or friend is willing to help her out at this time, I believe, from California. So she reached out.
So ma'am, why didn't you reach out before? Before you were sentenced to jail for your show cause, why didn't you reach out before?
I don't speak to this family member often. They actually contacted me while I was just checking around, and I was letting them know what was going on.
Hold on. So this person that you don't really speak to very often just happened to reach out to you today, miraculously, while you were over at the probation department.
Yes.
Huh.
Miracles happen every day.
Must have found that turning off on you. Even he laughed at that one. Well, ma'am, I'm glad to hear that somebody is going to be helping you with the tether, because that order didn't go away. So you're still required to get the tether, but you're still going to serve the 5 days jail for not complying with this court's order. So if you want to have the person call in and make that payment so that when you're released from jail, you have that tether fixed.
They were gonna send me the money today, so I might just go ahead and go get the tether.
They can send you the money today, and then it'll be there when you get out of jail, so you can get that tether on. That portion of the order was never terminated.
Yes, I understand that, but like at the time, I couldn't do nothing about it. And when my uncle reached out to me today, asking, you know, how's everything going with me and my son, and I, it's like, I'm sitting here, I have to go to jail tomorrow. And he asked, okay, what's going on? How can I help you? Because he knows our situation, that I don't have anybody to help me. And I thought, possibly take care of the day of going to jail, so I'm not really going to be with your son. I'm going to help.
Well, it's very kind of him. So I'm glad that he's willing to help you so that you don't go to jail again after this 5 days. But it's 5 days jail, and then you have to get the tether when you are released from jail.
Thank you, Judge.
Thank you. Have a good day. It's unmuted now. All right, we are going on the record in the matter of the City of Wyandotte versus Ryan Cheney, 232085, and the City of Wyandotte, I'm sorry, the State of Michigan versus Ryan Cheney, 231802. And appearance, counsel?
Good morning, Your Honor. Attorney Corey Westmoreland, appearing on behalf of Mr. Cheney. Mr. Cheney, would you please state your full name for the record, please?
Ryan Michael Cheney.
All right. Thank you. And counsel, as to the arraignment on the 232085 matter, because Mr. Cheney was arraigned on the state case and just never appeared back for his pretrial.
Yes, Your Honor. I did have an opportunity to speak to my client this morning regarding the charges, the maximum penalties, and his rights. He did not have any further questions for me. So at this time, Your Honor, we are prepared to waive a formal reading, and my client stands mute.
All right, the court's going to waive the formal reading, enter plea of not guilty for purposes of the arraignment, and enter plea of not guilty on your client's behalf. And we're going to schedule this matter for pretrial October 3rd at 8:50 a.m. We do have a jury trial scheduled that day. However, given the fact that Mr. Cheney is in custody, that is the day that we have to give him. And so the court will note on the state case, defendant in custody, warrant recalled. Pre-trial October 5th at 9:30 a.m. Okay, and then as to bond, counsel.
Yes, Your Honor. Mr. Cheney currently is working for Equity Finance as a mortgage broker. He's not currently on probation or parole. He does not have any other pending matters at this time that we're aware of. And after speaking with him at length this morning, he did assure me that he would be appearing at all future court dates. I did ask him if he was tested today, if he would test positive or negative for any drugs or alcohol. And he did indicate that he would test positive for marijuana, but nothing else would be in his system. And even the marijuana might be very, very slight, as he was taking some CBD type pain relief medicine. So it probably wouldn't even be THC. It's just the other form. So taking all that into account, Your Honor, I would simply just ask that all that be taken into consideration when assessing a bond.
All right, thank you. Okay, and so Mr. Cheney, your name, please.
Yes, Ryan Michael Cheney.
Okay. And you were arraigned in this matter on the state matter on July 20th, and you never came back. You're supposed to come back August 3rd. What happened?
What happened was what my counsel did say is my civilian job is equity finance, but I also I say my real job. I've been a 30-year plus CAA operative. My team's attached with like Delta, Navy SEALs, Rangers, Marine, MARSOC, Raiders, etc. The reason that I did not make that date is because I was deployed, and it was about just over 2 months. I'm going to say 2.5 months, but I can't be exact, but it was just over 2 months. My deployment extended. That is the only reason that I did not make that court date. If I did not extend that deployment, I would have made that court date, Judge.
Okay.
So my civilian
and do you have
job is
any-
equity finance. My real job is a CIA operative for the past 3, which I'm retired. I contacted the VA last week and I let them know I'm retiring. I'm 49. I'm about it. That's it. I'm done. So that's why I didn't show up for court, Judge.
Okay, do you have anything else that would support, any documentation that would support your deployment, sir?
You could contact Langley, Virginia. They would back that up.
Well, no, I can't contact them. I need you to provide some documentation.
I don't have any documentation on that, Judge. That's a no-no. With what I do, that's a no-no. You don't have documentation. But you can contact CIA headquarters, Langley, Virginia, no problem. I couldn't tell you Tom, Dick, Harry, Tina. I have no idea. In fact, I've never been paid, Judge. In the last 30 years, I have never received a paycheck. All my paychecks go to my wife, who is also operational. I was notified she is located in Texas right now. So I don't even know how to get a hold of her. And so, like I said, I've never received a paycheck in 30 years. I don't know where I'm, an accounting department, a payroll department. I have no idea. I've been gone. I've been deployed well over 100 times. Well over 100. Well over. So I have no idea.
Okay.
You don't carry paperwork, ma'am. Judge.
I understand. I understand. Okay. I need to get back to that. Okay. And counsel, I'm sorry, Esteban?
Yes, Your Honor. Mr. Cheney was living in Wyandotte at 168 Clinton Street. Unfortunately, I guess he was evicted this morning. Again, he's not on probation or parole. He doesn't have any other pending matters at this time. And after speaking with him at length, he did assure me that he would be appearing at all future court dates. So I would just ask that all that be taken into account.
Okay. I'm sorry, he was evicted this morning?
That's my understanding. The 22nd was my official eviction date. The papers are on, if you walk in to the front door, they're offset to the right-hand side, the papers are there. Because of my deployment extended 2.5 months, I was not able to work civilly here to pay my civil bills, which now I'm evicted, my landlord evicted. And when I came home, my entire house was ransacked. That's a whole other story.
Okay.
All this is verified. You can go there now. Like I said, the eviction papers are offset. If you walk into the front door, they're offset to the right-hand side. I set them there for anyone who, would be there. The officers that showed up for the warrant were professional. They did a fantastic job. I set that out and I let them know that the only 3 bags I have that I own are the bags that are right near the very front door. My rucksack, my computer bag, and my little tote bag, which I came home with. But other than that, my house is ransacked with a tracking device in the basement. So I don't know how that happened either. So this is my exact situation.
Okay.
All verifiable.
Okay. The court's going to indicate as to case number 231802. The court is going to note that defendant failed to appear for his last court date, did not contact the court to inform him as to why he would not be present. And even as Mr. Cheney's indicated, he was not in the area, and even when he came back into the area, did not contact the court. Therefore, the court's going to indicate a $10,000 10% bond, GPS tethered to the Wayne County Jail. That's the case number 232085. based on the defendant's failure to appear on case number 231802. The court's going to indicate a $5,000 10% bond. GPS tether to the Wayne County Jail. And the court's going to indicate that you're not to return to the waterfront restaurant. Not to possess, consume any alcohol or drugs that are not prescribed. Anything else, counsel?
Not at this time, Your Honor.
Okay, and those are your bond conditions as well, sir.
Thank you, Judge.
All right, thank you. Have a good day. Off the record.